So what happens if you want to sell your house fast, but then maybe your buyers back out? I don't suppose anybody on this video has ever experienced that.
No, we haven't. Oh, wait. Yes, we have. So basically, here's the deal. If you want to sell your house fast in Northwest, in Washington State, putting it on the market might be a great way to go. If you're paying attention to this, you're on Redfin or Zillow or whatever, houses are being sold within a day to 7 days of when they come on the market. Can that work? Absolutely. And sometimes it's fantastic. But sometimes, like in my case, it doesn't go so well. So I had this happen twice with the same house over about a 6-month period. We put our house up for sale in February of last year, and someone signed a contract right away, and it was fantastic. It was really exciting, and then their bank fell through. That was crushing. We were so excited, and it put us through this emotional roller coaster. That was really hard. We were having a baby, so we decided to take it off the market. We'll try this again in the summer. We put it back on the market in the summer. The flowers are all beautiful. We're like, okay, this is going to go really well. Had it happen again. So someone locked it up, the contract. They were like, yep, we want to do this much. Okay, great. We were kind of gun shy about it again. The point being, long story short, just because you go on market doesn't mean it's going to be fast. You can have an experience where the buyer's financing, you're beholden to them, right? So you can't move on with your life. You can't have your happy payday until all the financing comes through with that buyer. So
Right.
what's another option, Nathan, that sellers have to get a fast home sale without going through all that emotional roller coaster?
Absolutely. So when you're working with a cash buyer or a real estate investor, oftentimes they're going to have access to capital, cash, private financing, hard financing, traditional bank financing. They're going to have lots of options to close on that. And so unlike a retail buyer who maybe just is working with one or two banks in order to close on that property, and like in your situation, 2 times the offers fell through because of financing, your cash buyer is going to be able to come to the table and close guaranteed if you're working with a reputable one. And so one of the fastest ways to sell a house, if you're willing to trade a little bit of equity for convenience, time, speed, and a guaranteed offer, you can work with somebody like us at Living Well Properties, and that's going to allow you to close as fast as the title company can. So you may want to close tomorrow, but the title company may need 5 days, 10 days, 14, 21 days in order to finish that paperwork to actually close the transaction. So if you're working with a cash buyer, make sure and you want to close quickly, make sure you let them know that. Make sure you let them know, hey, ASAP. Or if you need 30 days or 60 days or 45 days in the property, or some time to rent it back, or some time to stay in the property after closing, just make that need known as well.
Exactly. And just to go over, like, what are the steps, no matter which cash buyer you're working with or investor, there's 3 basic steps. The first one is you're going to request an offer. So you're going to reach out to them, or maybe they reach out to you, and there's some kind of initial underwriting. You might be familiar with that term, where they assess the value of your property based on comparable houses in your market. And they say, okay, initially, based on square footage, layout, this whole laundry list of criteria, this is what we think it's worth. This is our offer. If that's something that you're willing to entertain, you go, yeah, I could do that. Then there's going to be a second level of, it's more serious. And so then they're going to put together a contract. It's going to be in writing. And then you're going to enter into contract. Okay. That's kind of step 2, a purchase and sale agreement. We've referred to that before. And then there's going to be the inspection contingency period. And that's when the buyer has the chance to work through all the details and verify everything they think they're buying is actually what they're getting. Okay.
Right.
That period, once that's over, that's typically when their earnest money deposit, EMD, is no longer theirs. You get it if they back out for any reason. Okay. Then basically, once the inspection period's over, they go, yep, everything's good. Or, hey, we need to talk about these things. Maybe you didn't know about them, but the inspector found this leak in the attic. Were you aware of that? You work through that stuff. Then it's basically just waiting on closing. And that's when all the paperwork has to get done and everybody's triple checking everything. And that's normal in any real estate transaction. So those are the 3 kind of main things you go through.
Yeah, and I think it's important as you're working with your investor or cash buyer to communicate your expectations too, right? Do you want to be texted every day? Do you want to be texted just once a week, or just when something is happening in that process? You know, when you think you're going to close in 21 days, and then something happens and bumps it back to 22 days because the title company needed X document back or whatnot. That happens sometimes, rarely, but it happens. You know, you want to be in a clear communication so that your timeline can be met. Maybe you're trying to move somewhere new, or maybe the house is vacant and your investor is anxious to get inside there to start the renovation process. Just keep in clear communication. Let your investor or your cash buyer know how you want to be contacted: text, phone, email, what's best, Facebook Messenger. And that way, even no matter what the timeline is, you'll be able to relax into that closing process.
That's right. Awesome. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
See you on the next one.